Hello, this is Susan, and this is Susan's Ramblings. Today we've got just a combination of recipes. Some of them we'll be using quite frequently, I'm sure, in the coming weeks because they will be hard to find on our shelves. The first recipe I've got is a muffin recipe. It's from World War One, and so they didn't have much food then at that time. And I believe this recipe came from England or Great Britain as we know it. 1 beaten egg, 1.5 cups of milk, 1 teaspoon of sugar or syrup, 1 tablespoon of Crisco, 1 cup of rolled oats, 1 cup of flour, 2 teaspoons of baking powder. Nothing really fancy, not much flour, 1 egg, not much sugar. And this says bake in a well-greased muffin pan, 20 to 30 minutes. It doesn't give me a time or anything like that, but I'm assuming that if 20 or 30 minutes is up between 350 and 400 degrees. Okay, depending on what your oven is. The next one we have, if I can get the paper taken care of, is another World War One recipe, and it's pumpkin muffins. Pumpkin is moist like bananas, so you really don't need much besides that. 1 cup of pumpkin, 1 tablespoon of brown sugar, 1/2 teaspoon of salt, 1 tablespoon of Crisco, 1.5 cups of milk, 2 cups of flour, 1 beaten egg, and 3 teaspoons of baking powder. This would be something that we'd be able to make off our shelves too, because I hope most of us have these things available. The brown sugar and syrup and so forth. They don't use much of it. And Crisco, well, that's just a vegetable shortening. Not many people use it anymore. But Crisco was an old time recipe. Okay, combine all ingredients and beat thoroughly. Bake a muffin tin. It doesn't give me another time there, or it doesn't give me a temperature, but it takes milk, and we've got worried about milk, we've got the instant milk and so forth we can use. The next one, Big Mac Sauce. I don't know how many of you buy Big Macs anymore. I haven't had one for a long time. In fact, I haven't been to McDonald's for a long time. But if you like something different on your hamburger, this is 1/4 cup Miracle Whip, and don't worry about it because we have a combination. At the end, it combines Miracle Whip and mayo at the same time, and that is the true recipe. 1/4 cup Miracle Whip, 3 tablespoons of French dressing, 1.5 teaspoons of dill pickle relish, 1 teaspoon of finely minced onion. Make sure it's finely minced. 1/8 teaspoon of salt, 1/4 cup of mayo, 1/2 tablespoon of sweet pickle relish, and 1 teaspoon of white vinegar. You combine all your ingredients in a microwave safe bowl. You stir them thoroughly so there's no white streaks there. Microwave on high for 25 seconds. You stir it again, cover, and you refrigerate for at least an hour to allow your flavors to marry. Cocktail sauce. This is for seafood, and New Year's Eve happens to be a big seafood holiday, I guess. We eat seafood year-round. Cocktail sauce. 3 tablespoons of ketchup. 3 tablespoons of prepared horseradish. 1 tablespoon of chopped onion, finely chopped again. 3 tablespoons of lemon juice. 1 tablespoon of Worcestershire sauce, and hot sauce to taste. You combine all the ingredients and mix it thoroughly. Remember, these recipes that I'm giving you are likely to disappear off the shelf, and so you're going to have to make your own or come up with something else. Pizza sauce. 1 8-ounce can of tomato sauce, 1/2 teaspoon of basil, 1 teaspoon of onion powder, 1 teaspoon of honey or sugar, 1/4 teaspoon of oregano, 1/4 teaspoon garlic powder, 1 tablespoon olive oil. Then again, you mix these things up, combine them all, mix them thoroughly, and you use them on your pizza. Put it on your pizza, and whatever kind of flavoring you've got, and you've got your pizza sauce. All right, sweet and sour sauce. This is probably my favorite, especially when I've got chicken nuggets or so forth, or a chicken patty. 3/4 cup sugar, 4 tablespoons of ketchup, 1 tablespoon of soy sauce, 1/2 cup of white vinegar, 1 teaspoon of garlic salt. You combine all these together, whisk it until it's thoroughly blended, and store it in a glass jar in a refrigerator. All right. Homemade buttermilk. I know most of you will probably know this one, but I always come across people who don't know it, and so I included it here. 1 cup of milk, 1 tablespoon of lemon juice or vinegar, and you mix it all together. Let it sit for 5 minutes, and you've got your buttermilk. Heavy cream substitute. Remember, we're not going to be able to get the dairy and all the heavy cream stuff, or I think we will. I'm trying to predict what's going to happen in the future, and you know that doesn't work very often. Hopefully, it won't be as bad as everybody thinks it is, and we will have plenty of food. Our heavy cream substitute. 3/4 cup of milk and 1/3 cup of melted butter. Now, this is something different. You place your milk in a bowl and let it come to room temperature. And you melt your butter and you let that cool to room temperature. It won't work if your milk is cold, and if your butter is warm or hot. It just won't work. Combine your milk with the cooled butter. Using a hand mixer, blend together thoroughly. You use immediately or chill. And if you chill, you have to use a hand blender to mix it all up again. You can use this in place of a cup of heavy cream. And if you wait a minute, I've got a recipe coming up here for half and half. And the simplest recipe is you take heavy cream and milk and make your half and half. Homemade half and half. Number 1, 2 tablespoons of melted butter, 1 scant cup of milk. And even percentages, 1%, 2%, whole milk, anything. Add your melted butter to 1 cup of Add your melted butter to a 1 cup measuring cup. A measuring cup that equals 1 cup. Make sure your butter is cool again, or otherwise you're going to have solid milk, clumpy milk. You add the melted butter to the cup measuring cup, and then you fill the rest of the cup with milk, and then you mix thoroughly. Second one is homemade half and half. The second recipe, 1/2 cup of heavy cream, 1/2 cup of milk, any kind. You combine the ingredients and mix together. Those are the recipes for today. Remember, on January 3rd, we will be starting our spice mixes. I will be giving several of these recipes where you can use special mixes. I have basic mixes on your shelf to use, such as cake mixes, tortilla mixes, gravy mixes, soup mixes, and so forth, that you can use on your shelf. Leave them on your shelf, and you can use them whenever you want to. That way you won't depend on what you have, what you can get in the store. You can just have a few basic items and make anything you want if you think out of the box. That's it for today. Have a good day. God bless you. We'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.